Those of you who have been following the Air India crash, you must have noticed that yesterday there was a news item in which India's Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau slammed some foreign media reports for irresponsible and unverified claims. Now, this rejoinder or this reaction, which is coming from AAIB, according to me, it's too little and too late. And also, if you look back and see, it is the AAIB itself who is responsible for this mess that they are finding themselves in. It appears that this time around, the Investigation Bureau has been able to garner some support from the US National Transportation Safety Board, the NTSB. The NTSB called the reports premature and speculative, stating that such coverage undermines the ongoing official investigations led by the Investigation Bureau. NTSB further said that they fully support the Investigation Bureau's public appeal and added that all investigation questions should be addressed to the AAIB. You may all very well recollect that just before this Air India preliminary investigation report was released, about 2 days before that, some information was leaked to the Western media. And now it appears there has been one more such leak again to the Western media. The story has been carried out by none other than the Wall Street Journal yesterday. It says new details in Air India crash probe shift focus to senior pilot, black box recording, and that's something I don't know how they got hold of. Black box recording and report details indicate the flight's captain switched off fuel flow to engines. Now, what's written in this article of the Wall Street Journal, which was published yesterday, it amounts to pure slander against the commander of that ill-fated flight, Captain Sumit Sabharwal. I'll read just a few lines of what they have written. Of course, it's all unverified. A black box recording of dialogue between the flight's two pilots indicate it was the captain who turned off the switches that control the fuel flowing to the plane's two engines, according to people familiar with US officials' early assessment of evidence uncovered in the crash investigation. We all thought it's the aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau of India, which was investigating this crash. However, according to Wall Street, they appear to know much better. The second thing I like to read here is the first officer who was flying the Boeing 787 Dreamliner asked the more experienced captain why he moved the switches to the cutoff position after it climbed off the runway. These people said the first officer expressed surprise and then panic, these people said, while the captain seemed to remain calm. So there are some people who are speaking about what they think happened in the cockpit that day. No sooner than the Wall Street Journal came up with this story, there are other newspapers in US who caught on to this and started adding much more to it. New York Post, for instance, came out with this headline, Doomed Air India pilots' medical records probed amid reports of depression, other mental health struggles. Now, no, we don't know how they got access to all this information, which was never made available by the AAIB in India. And yet, people who know Captain Sumit Sabharwal countered these claims rather vigorously. All his ex colleagues in Air India, I've been watching them on the social media YouTube channel, they defended Captain Sumit Sabharwal, saying that there was nothing of this sort and this is just pure slander to get the blame onto the pilot instead of looking deeper into malfunctioning of the Boeing aircraft. Much of what is happening in the press and especially the foreign media, I think the entire blame goes on to the AAIB of India. Now, only today they have come out with this rejoinder. They have slammed some foreign media report for being irresponsible, saying that the claims are unverified, whatever they are publishing about the Air India 171 crash probe. First of all, the AAIB decided to release the preliminary investigation report after midnight in India. Now, that led to many questions because one would have expected that the report is released during office hours. However, if you look at the timing, it all suited people in the West. When it was 12 midnight in India, it was 11:30 in Seattle, 2:30 in Arlington. These are the two places where Boeing operates. And secondly, the AAIB and the DGCA both decided to remain quiet all through the last 6 days, and especially when they knew that the story of the fuel switches was leaked earlier. So, my two questions to the AAIB and the DGCA are: question number one, why is sensitive information being leaked to the Western media? Why is the Indian media being kept out of this? And secondly, if all this is true, why wasn't it made a part of the preliminary report? And now the AAIB say they will release this information as and when they think it's a suitable time. The AAIB now says through their Director General that they will publish updates of technical and public interest as and when required. Scarce flow of official information, absence of regular updates and briefings on the investigation were flagged by a number of experts and industry watchers. According to the AAIB chief, the investigation into the crash, the most devastating accident in the recent aviation history, is being undertaken in a rigorous and most professional manner. I absolutely do not have any doubt in my mind that the investigators chosen by the AAIB would be the best in the country and are doing a great job. Their names have been made public already. I also think that the leaks which are happening are not due to the officers of the AAIB. These are people external to our country who might have been associated with the investigation. Now they are in some other country and they have the liberty to go around saying whatever they want without providing any proof. Having said that, I still feel that the DGCA and the AAIB lack in effective public relations. Now, that doesn't mean that you go around every day and having a press conference and addressing questions. It also means that you should have a very effective way of communicating to the public at large. And one of the ways is to have at least a good website. Now, as an example, I'll give you a quick glimpse of the website of the National Transportation Safety Board of the United States. In short, we all know it as the NTSB. Now, what does NTSB do? And it's very clearly written in their website. The NTSB investigates accidents and events to determine their probable causes. And that's exactly what our AAIB is also supposed to be doing. But the navigation in NTSB is so smooth. They do investigation. The first tab shows you the investigation process, the investigation report, investigation docket, and their office location. Then safety and research, news and events. In order of importance, they are listed here. The front page gives you the most recent accident. You click on them and you get more information. Now just look at the website of AAIB. The first thing you see, the picture, a big picture on the website, that is of International Yoga Day being celebrated in AAIB. Now that's very ridiculous. You know, there are pictures, they go on and on showing people of the organization doing yoga. Just observe this. Now, this is a aircraft accident investigation bureau, and what you see Is someone here trying to please Prime Minister Modi? And it's almost now over a month, and these pictures haven't been changed. There's not a single picture of any aircraft accident given on the front page, not even of AI 171. And thereafter, it starts, which I call the Mantri Puja. Now, there are pictures after pictures of their ministers. Now, this fellow became a minister, not that he has any great technical expertise. He became a minister because of political compulsion of the ruling party, and then it goes on and on trying to show the minister. And on the right hand side, all you can see is of the investigation. There are only 2 or 3 lines here, and if you really want to see the investigation report, you have to scroll down, and then you find them, and they are also not in any chronological order. It looks like they have been randomly uploaded, so you may well spend time trying to search what you exactly are looking for, and compare this with the NTSB website. There all reports are organized. You go to investigation report section, they're all listed there according to descending dates. The DGCA website appears to be marginally better. At least they don't start with the Yoga Day pictures. There is some relevant information on their homepage. There are a few pictures about their offices, and then Mantriji has to be there. Without Mantriji, the website won't work. But coming to the tabs, if you really want to see their report section, go to data and reports, and then you have the accident report. Now, this section is as bad as it can be. There is no chronology in this. It starts from 2002, it goes anywhere, it jumps anywhere. So, again, the reports are not classified, they are not uploaded according to the date. This only shows you how DGCA and the AAIB are internally organized. Now, they are pretty bad at maintaining their own website, their own data, and their own reports. And it's no wonder that they never want to face the public. Their public relation is so bad that the foreign media is getting away with, literally, with murder. So thank you for watching today's episode. I'll see you again in the next episode.